Hey guys, so I've been playing Fallout 4 for some time now, and I recently discovered a Porta-Diner. I saw these before, but I never really interacted with them because I thought they were kind of pointless until I tried doing it again, and I guess the objective here is to drop this claw and grab the pie, which if you try it a few times, you're not going to get the pie. But I looked online, and they said you can actually get the pie if you hit the button enough times. Well, I've hit it probably about 20 times, and I've got no luck, so I'm decided it's probably time to invoke a little bit of logic into this, which is what this video focuses on. It's a little bit of fun that might catch me some heat from the right people, thinking, modding is, the devil's work or whatever. But I'm just having fun with it, and I really want to get this piece of pie. Like, really bad. It's so fucking stupid. I want that pie. But anyways, I'm going to invoke some logic into this using a simple 555 circuit right there. This is a gutted Xbox One controller that I have had for some time that I broke the shell on, and it's just been sitting there, so I'm kind of glad I didn't throw it out because it's coming in great use right now for this video. I have my main controller right over here. My desk is a little messy, I do apologize. But the timer circuit is going to be controlling the A button, so I don't have to sit here and keep pressing it for hours on end, or however long it takes to get this damn piece of fucking pie. So let me explain the circuit real fast. As you can see on the controller,
Gotta be a bunch of snip packs around somewhere.
on the controller I have some stuff going on. I got the micro USB cable that I cut and soldered onto it because I don't know where the original cable went. I got the power and ground jumping over to the timer circuit, and I got the A signal right here for the A button that's just hanging out right now because it's not connected. But let me explain the circuit real fast. It's very simple. I don't have any values written down because I kind of just did this really quick. The circuit works very easily. It's a square wave output, like almost all 555 timers are. As you can see here, we have the 2 to 6 jumper, 4 to 8 jumper, 2 resistors right here on 2 to 7 and 7 to 8, and a capacitor going ground from pin, actually pin 2. That's actually supposed to be pin 2 to ground. I just realized that, so let me get this corrected. It doesn't go to 1 to ground, because 1 is ground. So it goes pin 2 to ground. So let me just focus that. Pin 1 is ground on this. I just didn't realize that, I guess. See, I just did this really quick. I didn't put a lot of thought into presenting it. But anyways, the 555 timer allows for a square wave output. It also allows for syncing and sourcing. Syncing being you can ground through the output, pin 3, when the duty cycle is at its lowest, which is 0 volts. So you can actually ground a load through pin 3, and when it goes high, you can source a load or give power to a load. So you can ground, for example, an LED through pin 3 when the square wave is low, or you can power an LED when the square wave is high, or when the output's high. So high and low is what we're working with here. It's zeros and ones, basically. I'm using the sync method, so I'm grounding through the timer for the controller because that's just how the controller works. Right over here we have the controller button lineup. This right here is a pull-up resistor. Now the way buttons on controllers work is actually pretty simple, and they've been using this method for quite some time. They use pull-up resistors and a button that closes to ground, which is this guy right here. This is the A button. When this closes to ground, it gets the low right here, and this actually goes to a microcontroller on the controller, telling the controller that the button's been pressed. This way you can press A, B, X, Y, and all of the outputs go to a microcontroller, and all the other sides of it, which are right here, are tied to ground, so this way they can see which goes low, and that tells the controller what button's been pressed. So it works pretty simple. So right here is the A button setup. This is the A button. Like I said, it goes to ground. So when you push this, it tells the controller the button's been pressed, and it goes to ground. Now I've interrupted the signal before the push button and before it goes to ground, and I've actually ran it through the timer over here. I'm using this as a sync method. So whenever the timer goes high, the output of the timer goes high. It doesn't allow the button to be pressed, but when the output goes low, it allows the A button to be grounded through the timer, thus activating the A function. Now, the duty cycle of this doesn't really matter, considering I have to wait for the interaction of the gameplay to be over with, so the duty cycle doesn't really matter. It's just been this little pulse right here. Now, since I'm using sync on this, it's actually, the timer's actually off right now. I'm syncing through it. Right now, it's on, the output is high. And right now it's off. So I'm actually syncing through it, which is basically just getting ground through the output. So this circuit is very, very simple. It took me about 2 seconds to throw together. And I'm actually going to run the A button through the output real fast, and I'm going to see if it works for the game. So I'm going to do that real quick. Oh, gotta find pin 3. Sorry if I'm casting a shadow over here. But that's plugged in. So now, whenever that goes low, you can see the claw drops, and the fucking pie stays in the same spot. So whenever the LED turns on, basically the button is being pressed. I'm basically emulating the button being pressed using a 555 timer, which is pretty simple and overall really cool. So let's see it real fast. Get both of these in frame. LED goes off and the claw drops. It's really cool. So let me turn off my light real fast. You can really see it. So no pie yet. I'm going to let this run for about an hour or two and see if I can get this piece of pie. So let's take a look at the LED down here in the bottom. Once it turns on, and once it turns off, it completes the button being pressed and actually activates the interaction on the game, which is really cool. So now I can just wait for however long it takes to get this piece of pie without actually having to play it. And I'll check back in about an hour to see if I got the piece of fucking pie, because I really want it. And I've read some forums online saying it's possible to get the pie as well. Depending on some traits and stuff, and if you have like high luck on the game or not. But let's just look at it one more time, because I'm actually kind of proud of this simple little mod. So once the LED is off, the output's high. And once the LED is on, the output's low, but after the LED turns back on, then it completes, or it turns back off, then it completes the function and allows the interaction on the video game, which is really cool. It's a pretty simple circuit. This is how rapid fire mods are done generally, and all that kind of fun stuff. But the duty cycle is usually taken into consideration a lot more if you want a rapid fire. Like the duty cycle has to be fine-tuned and a lot faster. But for this, I'm waiting for the interaction on the game, so the duty cycle is not really that important. So I'm going to set up my camera and just see how long it takes to get this piece of pie. Okay, so I got my camera all set up. I'm going to let this go for a couple of hours and see if I can get this piece of fucking pie. If not, I guess I'll wait even longer because I really want this pie. I'm going to leave it set up for probably an hour or so, and I'll fast forward through all the attempts or maybe even cut out some. But as you can see, the timer circuit is running right there. Gameplay's in the background, and no, I'm not touching my original controller, which is over here. It's actually off and all that fun stuff. It's a rock candy one. Anyways, let's see if I can get this piece of damn pie. Okay, so I got the piece of pie. Look at that. It's no longer there. I left my camera set up for about like 10-15 minutes, so I got it pretty quick, a lot quicker than I thought. But anyways, I'm going to set up my rock candy controller and see what this pie really does. It's really cool that I got it. The 555 controller thing is still kicking away. I'm going to unplug that and check out this piece of fucking pie. So 1 second. Do that right there. Right there is the disconnected controller thing from the Xbox. And I'm plugging in my Rock Candy controller right there, just kicking away. Another strong indicator that it was off. I have these LEDs I mounted on it. 555 is no longer a thing. It's turned off. But let's check out this piece of pie. Let me set up my... I could probably hold my camera, I guess. But look at that. Perfectly preserved pie. How perfect is that? Let's grab this piece of shit. Alright, let's pull it up in the inventory real fast. Perfectly preserved pie. There we go. Not a whole lot of stuff going on there, but I got it. That is my piece of fucking pie right there. And there it is. My pie. Well, let me turn off my light. Definitely too bright. I can't really see it on the camera for some reason. The plate is all whited out. But that is my piece of pie. It doesn't look too appetizing on the camera, though. Not at all. But there you go. It didn't take long at all to get this piece of pie using the 555 timer sync method. There are more porta-diners, I think, in Fallout 4, so I will definitely do this again to get those. This is actually really cool. Didn't take as long as I thought it would. But yeah, if you like this simple, silly video, feel free to subscribe if you'd like. I'm probably going to do something like this again in the future, because I've been playing Fallout 4 for a while now, and it's a lot of fun, and I just decided to give this porta-diner thing a go. So yeah, if you like this video, subscribe, thumbs up, all that fun, pandering shit, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.